Hey, hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today I'm going to talk about how to build emotional resilience. Sometimes when you're in the grasp of a strong negative emotion, it might seem difficult to build any resilience to the not so pleasurable experiences that come our way, right? It is absolutely possible, though, and it's a thought that you should keep in mind if you're struggling with excessive negative thoughts. How come some people just give up and just cry into a bottle? I struggle with that. People just give up so easily. But then there's others that pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and carry on as if nothing happened. Well, what that is that's what's called coping skills, and anyone can develop them. Flexibility and adaptation are undoubtedly two outlooks that help people recover from bad situations. While some people may feel overwhelmed in their negative feelings and find it harder to remove themselves from those feelings and change direction, those who are willing to see emotions as things that grip them tighter, the more they focus on them and understand how to let go and change direction quickly, they come out on top, right? In a way, emotions are like quicksand. It's just so easy to get sucked in deeper and deeper if you're not careful, right? So by seeing those negative events in your life as flexible short-term situations, you can more easily move on. Let's imagine someone who sees these negative events as a fixed point in space and time, right? To them, that disappointment they felt with themselves or that failure they felt, it's a fixed point in their life. It's just right there. It's stuck there, right? It's always there. And nothing they can do will ever change the fact that there was a failure or a disappointment in their life. They don't want to let it go, right? Well, on the other hand, those who view situations as being temporary, they're more likely to see that same situation as a speed bump in life's rearview mirror. Like, whoa, okay, pass that one up, right? So what can you do to help yourself adopt this outlook? Emotional resistance isn't something that you have or you don't have. Luckily, it's a skill that can be developed with practice. And I have some ideas that might help you. So the first one is to quiet your mind. If you're someone who likes to move at the speed of light, you risk letting your emotions get the best of you. If you're always going, 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 then sometimes, that your emotions can just get out of hand, right? But mindfulness is a great way to calm your mind and be more present with your thoughts. So if you make this a ritual on a daily practice, like over time, you're going to less likely to get carried away by fear or worry. So the next one, accept what is. So acceptance is the first step to overcoming anything, right? And sometimes this is one of the hardest things for people to do. It takes resilience to look at our reality and admit that things aren't okay. And when bad things happen, your response might be to immediately go into fix-it mode, but that option isn't always going to be available to you right away. So sometimes you just got to sit with your feelings and be willing to receive whatever it is that comes up, at least for a little while until you can go into fix-it mode, right? Be willing to look at your mess. So let's face it, looking at your mess doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good, right? It's way easier to find ways to suppress or ignore those uncomfortable feelings because we don't like to deal with them. But if you don't give yourself the time and the space to process those difficult emotions, they only stay stuck in your body and they become toxic. So the next time you find yourself struggling, resist the urge to run away from the feelings. Instead, acknowledge the mess and listen to what it is trying to tell you. Do an internal check and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? And what can I do to take back control of my life? Surround yourself with positivity. Do you surround yourself with positive people? If you're lacking ambition and you feel stuck, it's actually quite likely that you're spending time with people who are bringing your energy down. Hi, Karen. Good to see you. Good morning. I see this all the time. I see people that are doing so amazingly well, and then they pick up some new friends, and all of a sudden everything just goes, ooh. It happens. And you know what? Negative energy is exhausting. If you want to be successful in life, you've got to be wise about who you choose to be friends with, because it really is important. And make it a priority to surround yourself with people who inspire you and challenge you to be a better person. If you do, you're going to be reminded how much good there is in the world. Plus, when life throws you a curveball, you'll have a strong support system to fall back on, right? Embrace fear. This is a hard one for a lot of people. I mean, fear can feel like an ugly monster that holds us back from stepping into our power and living our lives that we're proud of. When you experience fear, do you experience it, or do you embrace it, or do you run away from it? For a lot of people, they run away. This might seem like the smartest option, given that fear doesn't feel good, but what if you could use your fear to catapult yourself forward? It is possible to do this, but only if you're willing to face your fear head on. Learn from your failure. This is one you hear from me all the time, right? Because we all make mistakes. We all have failures. And I believe that failure should be celebrated more often. Failing is a normal part of life. We all do it, but we all have been conditioned to feel shame around it. But if you fail, it must mean you're a failure, right? Wrong. That's not true at all. You know what? Mistakes are proof that you care and that you're willing to take calculated risks. If you're not failing, you're not trying. And when you fail, that means that didn't work. So now you know you need to try something else, right? So the trick is learning from failure so you don't make the same mistakes again, so that you learn and you figure out what works and what doesn't. Hi, Bonnie. Good to see you. So find humor. When things are hard, it's so easy to spiral into negativity and take yourself too seriously. And I'm not saying that pain is funny, for sure, but sometimes all you can do is laugh at it, right? Sometimes you just have to laugh at it. It's okay to have a pity party and feel sorry for the situation that you're in. That's totally okay, but there has to be a point where you move away from feeling sorry about yourself to one that's more empowering. Work to develop resourcefulness. You don't become resourceful just by luck. I mean, just that's kind of the theme of everything I talk about, right? When we're talking about personal development doesn't happen by luck. And there's skills. And so you only develop this skill when you're faced with experiences that force you to find solutions to your problems. The most resourceful people are also the most resilient. They plan for adversity. They know it's not always going to be a bed of roses, right? And so they don't merely survive through life's most difficult situations. Rather, they become stronger and they thrive through those situations. Life is going to knock you down. I mean, there's no doubt about it, right? It's not a matter of if, but when. But you get to decide whether you're going to allow that to make you lose your spark. You get to decide, right? So whatever you do, don't give up. Wipe away the tears, get up, and continue to move forward. Your inner power is the quiet voice, the quiet force within you that knows when to act, and it gives you the strength to do so. So listen to it and believe that. Believe that no matter what happens, you've got this. Because I know you do. And you know what? I think you know you do too. So now I'd love to hear from you. Do you feel like you're pretty resilient emotionally? What kinds of things help you to pick yourself up when bad things happen and keep moving? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments below. I would love to hear your stories. Thank you, Karen and Bonnie, for being live with me today, and anyone else who might be live who just hasn't commented. And thank you to anyone who might be watching the replay. I appreciate you. So go out there and have an amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.